In this video, I'm going to be reassembling an old style Daisy 880 from a complete takedown. This is where I left off on my disassembly video of the old style 880, so that's where I'm going to start. The old style Daisy 880s have a threaded screw-in exhaust valve. The new style Daisy 880s have a twist-in exhaust valve. In this video, to keep it short and get straight to the meat, I'm going to skip some of the simple reinstall items. Very early Daisy 880s had a round head exhaust valve. Those exhaust valves were made from brass. Now that the exhaust valve is back in the body, we're going to work on the chamber assembly. The old style pressure chamber assembly consists of several parts. Pointing towards the front of the pump tube, their order is the middle chamber disc, the seal, the spring, the plastic washer, and the O-ring. The O-ring used here is the exact same size as the one used for the pump head. You will want to cover the old style pressure chamber seal, the O-ring, and the inside of the pump tube with a light coat of oil. Originally, Daisy recommended 30 weight motor oil. I use Crossman Pelgun oil. I place the chamber support disc on the seal and insert both of them into the pump tube. This is followed by the spring and the plastic O-ring washer. And finally, the O-ring. Here is a picture that might show the assembly order better. On the old style 880, the pump tube is held in place with a pin that goes through the bottom of the pump tube, securing it to the body. This pin also goes through the frame rail, securing everything together. Now comes the trickiest part of the old style reassembly. In order to get the retaining pin in the bottom of the pump tube, you have to be able to push the pump tube down into its proper position. In this video, to get the pump tube into position, I used a screwdriver bit for a drill with both ends taped to prevent it from scarring or hurting the pump tube. I then used leverage applied by the pump handle to push the pump tube down so that I could get the pin through the end. The usual way that I compress the pump tube is by using a wooden rod without the pump handle installed and pressing the pump tube down. Getting all these parts to line up and getting the pin through is without a doubt the hardest part of reassembling the old style 880. Before going any further, I like to make sure that everything is working correctly and that there are no leaks. From here on, it's pretty straightforward. If you're interested in some of the more nitty-gritty details, you might check out my reassembly video for the current model 880. In that video, I go into more detail about individual parts, like rebuilding the exhaust valve from the individual pieces and the pump piston assembly from individual pieces. In this video, I wanted to concentrate on the main differences of the old style 880. From this point forward, the reassembly process of the old style 880 isn't much different than the new style. In order to get the right side cover back on, the bolt assembly must be pulled back. Some old style Daisy 880s have the trigger guards separate from the side cover. Unfortunately, that's a part that is no longer made. On old style Daisy 880s, the buttstock is secured with a single screw. Unfortunately, only being secured by a single screw often causes the buttstock to have a wiggling problem. On the old-style Daisy 880, the forearms are held on by a hook that is on the frame rail. This is reversed on the new style, and the hook is on the forearm itself. Therefore, the forearms are not interchangeable without doing some work. The first generation Daisy 880 did not have a diamond on the forearms. The second, third, and fourth generations did. The current generation 880 has a diamond painted on the forearm, but the forearm is a single piece. The most common failure point on the old-style Daisy 880 is the chamber seal. Unfortunately, that is an expensive part. You might try heating up your old chamber seal and spreading it out. By doing so, there's a chance you might be able to get it to hold a seal.